20 fast-growing plants that can take over your garden. Have you ever planted something in your yard and within a few weeks it grew so much that it looked like a green monster? Some plants grow so quickly that, if you're not careful, they take over everything: the bed, the garden, even the space of other plants. It's like that friend who arrives at your house and, without meaning to, takes over the sofa, the table, and even the TV control. Some plants do this to the garden. In this text, we are going to talk about 20 plants that grow very quickly and can become a problem if not controlled. We will explain what they are, why they grow so much, and what to do to avoid letting them dominate your space. It's like having a big dog. If you don't teach it from an early age, it will pull on the leash and take you wherever you want. Why do some plants grow so fast? Imagine you are hungry and someone places a plate of food in front of you. If it's your favorite dish, you'll eat it quickly, right? Some plants are like that. They love sun, water, and good soil, and when they have all of this, they grow as if they were in a hurry. It's like a child who, after a day at the beach, comes home and grows 2 centimeters in a week. Other plants grow quickly because they are resilient. They don't need much care, they aren't afraid of pests, and they adapt to any location. It's like that neighbor of yours who plants anything in the yard and everything grows, while you try hard and the plants die. Some of these plants are so strong that, if not pruned or controlled, they will suffocate the others. The 20 plants that can take over your garden. Let's now get to know 20 plants that grow very fast. Some are beautiful, others are useful, but they all have one thing in common. If they are not watched, they spread and dominate everything. 1. Mint. Anyone who has ever planted mint knows that it grows like weeds. If you set foot in the flower bed, soon there will be mint everywhere. It's like that friend who invites 10 more people to the party without telling you. It is great for teas and sauces, but if not controlled, it will take over the space of other plants. 2. Peppermint, related to mint, but even stronger. It grows quickly, leaves roots everywhere, and, if you don't remove it, it will invade the entire garden. It's like a plague, but fragrant. 3. Bamboo. Bamboo is beautiful and grows fast, but it is one of the worst invaders. If you plant a tree, you'll soon have a forest in your backyard. It's like that piece of furniture that you buy small and, after a month, realize that it takes up half the room. 4. St. John's wort, a beautiful plant, with yellow flowers, but which spreads quickly. If left unchecked, it will take over the lawn. It's like a paint stain that starts small and before you see it, it's all over the wall. 5. Clover. Clover is cute and attracts butterflies, but it grows so fast it can choke out grass. It's like that rug that you put on the floor and, in a short time, it doubles in size. 6. Dandelion. Everyone knows the dandelion. It grows anywhere, even in cracks in the sidewalk. If you let it, there will be dandelions all over the garden. It's like that neighbor who shows up to every barbecue uninvited. 7. Ivy. Ivy is beautiful and covers walls, but it grows so quickly that it can choke trees and other plants. It's like a curtain that you hang, and after a while it covers the entire window. 8. Crabgrass. This grass grows quickly and forms a dense mat. It's great for lawns, but if it's not mowed, it will take over everything. It's like that blanket you leave on the bed, and the next thing you know, it's on the floor and on the couch. 9. Mango jasmine, a beautiful vine, but it grows non-stop. If left unpruned, it will cover everything: walls, fences, even other plants. It's like a spider's web that starts small and then suddenly it's everywhere. 10. Watercress. Watercress grows quickly and spreads through water. If you plant it in a pond or vase with water, it will take over. It's like that sauce you make and, after a day, it has fermented and doubled in size. 11. Sugarcane. Sugarcane grows fast and tall. If you plant a tree, you will soon have a plantation in your backyard. It's like that beanstalk from history, but in real life. 12. Fern. Ferns grow quickly and spread underground. If you don't control it, there will be fern in every pot. It's like that cake where you cut a piece and, the next day, it's grown again. 13. Strawberry plant. Strawberries are delicious, but the plants sprout everywhere. If you don't prune, you will have strawberry plants all over your garden. It's like that recipe you make once and then everyone asks for it again. 14. Nettle. Nettle grows quickly and is difficult to remove. If you touch it, you will feel a burning sensation. It's like that annoying neighbor who, when you least expect it, is already at your door. 15. Holy thistle, a tall, thorny plant that grows quickly. If left unchecked, it will take over the garden. It's like that big dog that, if not trained, knocks everything over. 16. Peanut grass. This grass grows quickly and forms a dense mat. It's great for covering the ground, but if it's not cut back, it will suffocate other plants. It's like that carpet you put on and then can't take off. 17. Ipomaea, a beautiful vine, but it grows non-stop. If it is not pruned, it will cover everything: walls, fences, trees. It's like a curtain that you open and then can't close. 18. Wild onion. It looks like a normal onion, but it grows quickly and spreads throughout the garden. If you don't remove it, there will be onions everywhere. It's like that seasoning that you use a little and then it's all over the cupboard. 19. Lemon balm, related to mint, but even more invasive. It grows quickly and puts out roots everywhere. It's like that friend who arrives and wants to move the furniture. 20. Purslane, a creeping plant that grows quickly and covers the ground. It is edible, but if left unchecked, it will take over the garden. It's like that rug that you put on the floor and then it's in every room. How to control these plants? Now that you know the 20 plants that grow fast, you need to know how to prevent them from taking over your garden. Here are some simple tips. Plant in pots. If you want to have mint, spearmint, or other invasive plants, plant in pots. This way, they won't spread roots throughout the garden. It's like putting a dog on a leash. It can run, but it won't go far. Prune regularly. If the plant starts to grow too much, cut off the branches or shoots. It's like cutting your hair. If you don't do it, it will look long and messy. Use barriers. Some plants, such as bamboo, need barriers in the soil to prevent them from spreading. It's like putting a fence in the backyard so the dog can't escape. Remove the roots. If the plant is already taking over, remove the roots so it doesn't return. It's like ripping off a band-aid. It hurts a little, but then it gets better. Plant in controlled locations. If you want to have a climbing plant, plant it near a wall or fence. This way, it grows upwards and not sideways. It's like putting a painting on the wall. It looks beautiful and doesn't take up space on the floor. Conclusion: having a beautiful garden is great, but some plants grow so quickly that they can become a problem. It's like having a pet. If you don't take care of it, it can grow too big and take over the house. The 20 plants we've listed here are great, but they need attention so they don't dominate everything. If you like one of them, plant it carefully, use pots or barriers and do regular pruning. This way, your garden will be beautiful and balanced, without turning into a jungle. It's like cooking. If you add too much salt, the dish will be bad. But if you put it in the right amount, it's delicious. It's the same thing with plants. The secret is in balance. Here are some more tips to keep these plants under control and still make the most of what's good about them. A good idea is to use these fast-growing plants to cover areas you don't want to see, like an old wall or an unsightly corner of the yard. For example, English ivy grows quickly and leaves everything green, but if it is not pruned, it climbs trees and can suffocate them. So, cut the branches that come out of the line and keep it just where you want it. Another plant that many people love is the shameless Maria. It blooms all year round and attracts butterflies, but it spreads so easily that it can take over beds of other flowers. To avoid this, plant in pots or in delimited areas, such as between rocks or in a specific corner. This way, it looks beautiful without disturbing the rest of the garden. If you have a large space and want a plant that grows quickly to provide shade, the mulberry tree could be a good option. It grows quickly and its leaves are great for feeding silkworms. But be careful. Its roots are strong and can damage sidewalks or pipes. Plant it away from buildings and keep an eye on its growth. For those who like edible plants, bamboo is an interesting choice. It grows quickly and can be used to make hedges or even furniture. But be careful. Some species of bamboo spread across the ground and can invade your neighbor's garden. Choose varieties that don't spread as much or plant in large pots buried in the ground to contain the roots. And don't forget vines, like honeysuckle. It fills the garden with fragrant flowers and attracts hummingbirds, but if left unguided, it can climb trees and cover everything. Use supports like trellises or wires to direct growth, and prune regularly to keep the plant healthy and in its right place. The important thing is to remember that all these plants have their value, but they need limits. Just like a dog needs a collar and training, these plants need a defined space and care to avoid becoming a headache. With a little attention, you can have a garden full of life and beauty without losing control. And if a plant starts to get out of control, don't be afraid to cut it down or even uproot it. Sometimes it's better to lose a plant than let it ruin all the work you've put into the garden. After all, a well-kept garden is like a tidy house. It looks more beautiful and easier to enjoy. Now, let's talk about some plants that grow quickly and can take over your garden if you don't keep an eye on them. They are great for those who want to green quickly, but they require attention to avoid becoming a problem. The hydrangea, for example, is beautiful and fills the garden with colorful flowers, but if it is not pruned, it can become huge and suffocate other plants. Another one that grows without asking permission is bamboo. It spreads across the ground like an army of sprouts and, if not contained, can invade your neighbor's yard or even crack sidewalks. One tip is to plant bamboo in large pots or use underground barriers to prevent the roots from spreading. Lemongrass is also a serious case. It grows quickly, gets tall, and can take over entire beds. If you don't cut it frequently, it turns into a thicket and even attracts snakes and other unwanted animals. St. John's wort, the one with yellow flowers, is another one that multiplies easily. It sprouts in any corner and, if left unchecked, can dominate lawns and even rock gardens. And we can't forget about aggressive vines, like cat's claw. It climbs walls, fences, and trees with such force that it can break branches. If you don't prune it, it turns into a green web that covers everything. Another famous vine is the sour passion fruit, which grows quickly and bears delicious fruit, but if not guided, it can suffocate other plants and even collapse weak structures. To avoid problems, observe the new plants that appear in your garden. If any start to grow too much, cut off the extra shoots or pull them out before it's too late. It is also good to research each species before planting. Some, like mint, are great in the kitchen, but they spread like the plague. The ideal is to grow them in pots, even if they are in the garden. Another tip is to use slow-growing plants as natural barriers. For example, a boxwood or patanga hedge grows slowly and does not invade other spaces. This way, you create a visual limit and also prevent the most aggressive plants from spreading. If your garden is already taken over by one of these plants, don't be discouraged. Start slowly, cut what is left, pull out the new shoots and recover the space. Sometimes you need to be firm, like when you need to prune a rose bush to make it bloom better. At first, it may seem like you are hurting the plant, but then it will thank you. Remember, a garden doesn't have to be perfect, but it does need to be balanced. If one plant is dominating everything, it is not leaving room for the others. And a garden with variety is much more beautiful and healthier. Imagine a buffet with just one type of food. It may be delicious, but after a while, it gets boring. It's the same thing with plants. Finally, don't be afraid to experiment. If a plant doesn't work, pull it out and try another. It's your garden, and you decide what stays and what goes. With patience and care, you will find the right balance and have a space full of life, free of stress. And if you need help, ask neighbors for tips or search online. After all, everyone has experienced a plant that grew larger than it should have. Here are some more tips for dealing with plants that grow too quickly and take over the garden. First, look carefully at the space before planting. If you have a small area, avoid species such as ivy or peanut grass, which spread unchecked. They are great for covering walls or large plots of land, but in small flower beds they become a problem. Another deceiving plant is bamboo. It grows quickly, looks beautiful and gives an air of nature, but some species, like mosso bamboo, send out roots everywhere and invade everything. If you want bamboo, choose types that don't spread as much, like lucky bamboo, or plant in pots buried in the ground to contain the roots. The fern is also a favorite, but it can become a headache. It sprouts everywhere and, if not pruned, it takes over the vase or flower bed. One solution is to place it in a hanging pot, where it can grow freely without disturbing other plants. If you like flowers, be careful with the marsh lily. It is beautiful and attracts butterflies, but its roots are strong and spread quickly, suffocating smaller plants. One tip is to plant it in a pot without a hole in the bottom and bury the pot in the ground. This way, he stays controlled and doesn't invade other people's space. Another plant that seems harmless, but isn't, is mint. It is fragrant and great for teas, but its roots spread like a carpet and dominate everything. If you want mint in your garden, plant it in a separate pot or in a secluded corner, away from other plants. If you already have an invasive plant in your garden, there's no need to panic. Sometimes all it takes is frequent pruning to keep it under control. Another option is to pinch off new shoots as soon as they appear, before they grow too much. If the plant has already taken over, it may be necessary to dig and remove the roots, but do this carefully so as not to leave any pieces, otherwise it will come back. A good idea is to mix fast-growing plants with slower ones. For example, plant a vine like mango jasmine near a small tree. The vine will grow quickly and cover the tree, but as the tree takes longer to develop, the two will balance out over time. It is also important to know the plants you have. Some, like dahlia or sunflower, grow quickly but only last one season. Others, like the St. George's sword, grow slowly and don't require much work. Knowing the difference helps you plan your garden better. If you like spreading plants but want to keep them from taking over, use physical barriers. It could be a stone border, a strip of concrete, or even a piece of plastic buried in the ground. This prevents the roots from advancing where you don't want them. Lastly, remember that the garden is a living space and will always need adjustments. What works today may not work in a few months. Therefore, observe your plants regularly and make changes when necessary. Over time, you will get the hang of it and have a beautiful, stress-free garden full of life. And if a plant is too much work, don't hesitate to replace it with another that better suits your space. The important thing is to enjoy the process and learn from each experience. Now that you know how to control plants that grow quickly, let's talk about some species that can take over your garden if you don't keep an eye on them. Some are beautiful and full of benefits, but it's good to know their side before planting. A classic example is the climbing hydrangea, or Hydrangea pedicularis. It climbs walls and fences easily, but if not pruned, it can cover everything in a short time, including windows and doors. Another famous plant is English ivy, which clings to walls and trees. It is beautiful, but its roots are strong and can damage surfaces if left unchecked. If you like flowers, sweet passion fruit is an option that grows quickly and bears delicious fruit. But be careful, it spreads like an aggressive vine and can choke out other plants around it. Mint is great for teas and recipes, but its roots spread through the soil and, if not contained, can invade neighboring beds. For those who prefer low-growing plants, peanut grass is an alternative that covers the soil and prevents weeds. However, it spreads so quickly that it can jump into areas where you don't want it. Another common plant is lemongrass, which grows in large clumps and, if not pruned, can take up too much space. Some plants even help in the garden, such as comfrey, which improves the soil and serves as natural fertilizer. But it grows constantly and, if left unchecked, can compete with other plants for nutrients. Purslane, considered a weed by many, spreads quickly and is difficult to eliminate once it becomes established. If you want something more exotic, kudzu, a vine native to Asia, is known as the plant that ate the southern United States. It grows several meters in a single season and covers everything in its path, including trees and buildings. In Brazil, it is not so common, but it is an extreme example of what an invasive plant can do. The secret is to choose plants that match the space you have. If the garden is small, avoid species that spread too much. If you like challenges, plant some of these, but always with barriers and frequent pruning. And remember, what seems harmless today can become a problem tomorrow. A final tip is to do your research before planting. Ask other gardeners, read about the plant, or even observe how it behaves in parks and squares. This way, you avoid surprises and ensure that your garden looks the way you dreamed of: beautiful, balanced, and easy to care for.